I just received a set of Bosch 210-pound injectors, EV1 connectors. You know, they are probably one of the more well-known knockoff injectors that are out there. So I went ahead and ordered them anyway, but I wasn't sure whether or not they were actually going to be genuine. I've unboxed them. They come in, you know, Bosch boxes and everything with barcodes on them. They've got their own little serial numbers on them. I've gone to the Bosch website, typed in these numbers. They all say they're good. So, continuing on with those, I decided to just check them out a bit. So, there's a few videos out there that are relatively new that you can go ahead and look and see whether or not your Bosch injectors are genuine or not. And if you have seen them, you know, they're available on eBay, they're available on Alibaba, AliExpress, all sorts of other places. So anyway, I was concerned about getting knockoffs and, you know, kind of took a chance on it a little bit. You know, kind of sometimes you don't know unless you, and I'm not slamming anyone at all. I'm just saying unless you've bought from someone before, you're not really sure whether or not what you're getting is the real deal or not. So I have this random rig set up right here. This is kind of an opportunity. I'm not going to be able to do this all the time. I'm not going to do this for everything that I have, but I'm in an interesting situation here. So I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of it. And what this situation is this is a scale. This scale is an extremely, it's more accurate than you use for typical automotive use. Like if you guys have small scales you use to weigh pistons or rods or whatever, that's all good, or even composites. I kind of have ruined many scales that way. So anyway, a bit more accurate than what I normally use. And why do I have it here? Don't worry about it. It's fine. You know, it's fine. Wave hands, whatever. But this scale is not inexpensive, and it is from a well-known scale manufacturer. I had a thought as I was working on this today, and then I got these today, that I could go ahead and do some magic here. So I have a theory that if these are genuine, and don't get me wrong, I actually believe these are genuine. I have no reason to believe they're not. They're advertised as being genuine. Like I said, they're from VS Racing. They're advertised as being genuine. Everything I see on this indicates so far to me that it is genuine. The casting is nice, the injection molding is nice, the connector's nice. It doesn't have some of the other things that other people have pointed out. It has the correct O-ring color on it, which is very important. It's super easy to tell. If they're brown, flush it down, man. It's just no good. So the other things on here, all indicators point to this being absolutely genuine. So this goes back to my theory. What I do is I'm actually going to weigh each one of these, and I want to see what the min, max, and mean are on what these weigh. And I bet they're genuine Bosch. They should be really, 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 really close to one another. And I have all the stuff here to do this. In fact, I also have this here. Whoops, and I'm going to break it, which is awesome. So this here is a Class 1 kilogram weight. And a Class 1 is the most accurate weight I could get my hands on. So this is 1,000 grams, and it is accurate to plus or minus 2.5 milligrams. So 0.0025 grams. And this thing is also not inexpensive. It's kind of crazy. It comes with the white glove that I'm wearing, so that you don't get the oils from your fingers on it and change the weight of the test weight itself. So what we're gonna do here, just real quick, just to show you, is put it on here, and here's my scale. You know, my scale is not accurate to 2.5 milligrams. But like I said, it's showing here 0.02, so it's pretty darn close. Oh, no, I should stop talking. There we go. And yeah, it's accurate enough that when you breathe funny around it, the scale changes weight. So that's kind of another fun thing about this. It's super ridiculous, but I just validated the weight. You guys saw it, and now I'm going to go through and measure each one of these. So I'll take off this glove, this wonderful glove, and we'll get started. I'm also going to go ahead and go through and make a spreadsheet. So here we go. Okay, so I've done this 5 times. I'm going to do it one more time, and then I have 6 to go with 6 samples for each injector. And that'll give me a really good number of samples to go. Way that data acquisition works is you oversample in order to get the most accurate data that you can, and then you can average, you basically filter and average it. So we're going to go ahead and do this one more time, and yeah, just to give you guys a heads up, that's why I'm making, essentially reweighing each one of these multiple times. So we'll keep going. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead. I'm touching it. Ruined. Give me a sec. It's not my weight. I don't want to ruin it. Okay, so you're seeing that makes sense because we are seeing that a little bit in the measurements, in that the later measurements are a touch heavier. And that's kind of what happens. It might be the scale may have warmed up a little bit. It may have cooled down a little bit. So here we go. Weighing is not exact. It never is. But, here we are. So I think we've got enough data to go ahead and do some numbers real quick. And then we can go ahead and see what these look like. It'd be interesting to know other people's thoughts. This is something that I just came up with in about 20 minutes before I broke all these out and started doing them. So I'm going to go ahead and do mid, max, mean, and do some other things here. All right, I've gone through and mathed this up, and it might be a little bit hard to see. Maybe I'll do a screen share or something like that, show the spreadsheet. All right, so you'll see all the data that I was recording here. So you've got the injector number in column A. B through G are the weights that were taken for that injector. We have a min value, which is the lightest of those weights. Max is the heaviest of those weights recorded. And then this is actually standard deviation of those weights. And then you've got span here, which is the heaviest weight minus the lightest weight, just to give you an idea of repeatability, accuracy. Okay, so you've got the average here of all the samples for that one injector, and the difference from the average is whether they're lighter or heavier than all of the samples average. So you can see our diff max, which is our heaviest injector, is 76 milligrams heavier than average, and our lightest injector is 56 milligrams lighter than average. The standard deviation on all the samples is 0.05, so that's 50 milligrams, 0.05 grams, 50 milligrams. And so you've got a span here total of 0.133 grams, which is 133 milligrams. So if you go back to what I was talking about before, I think my original hypothesis was that these were going to be better than 1/10 of a gram. They're actually just over that, but they're 133 milligrams instead of 100 milligrams, which was my hypothesis. That was my theory. And so that's honestly in the video portion or in the camera portion of this video, I was showing you, or I was recording that at the time when I was doing it for the first time, so I didn't know what these values are going to look like, and I'm kind of just blown away by how finely controlled their processes are at Bosch, that they can actually make these injectors and make 8 and have them be such a small variance from one another. 133 milligrams is not very much. Okay, in fact, this number right here is what percentage this span is of the average value. So that gives us an idea of the variance as a percentage. That percentage is 0.5%. It's 0.5%. But yeah, that's absolutely wild that they make, thousands of injectors, and the 8 that I happened to get, which were not flow matched, they were just a set of 8 injectors that I purchased.
they're within 0.5%, which is just crazy. But I think that this does show that these injectors were manufactured under extremely tight control, extremely tight tolerances, and this really helps to reinforce that they are genuine. So my overall impression of these is the boxes are right. They've got a hologram on them for their unique codes. They've got unique codes. They all validate with Bosch on a Bosch website. They exhibit all of the proper attributes. The O-rings are the right color. The caps are the correct. So the caps are usually have like a certain, they've got to be a certain length, and those that aren't are genuinely or generally an indicator that an injector is counterfeit or knockoff. The good news about all this data is that it really does reinforce the quality control that these injectors were under as they were produced, and frankly, it just helps to reinforce the genuineness of the injectors. Like I said, no slamming anyone, but there are companies that sell these as genuine, even though they're not genuine. And if you're if you're a guy, you go and you buy a set of genuine injectors, you just get them, you install them, you don't know what's going on. They might turn out not to be genuine, especially if you got a good deal on them. So anyway, I'll switch back to the camera, and I'm sure I've got some other wrap-ups there. And
yeah, no, okay. 0.133 grams of 26.203 is 0.005. So, they're base. Yeah, no, I was right. That's wild. That is so precise. Bosch quality control is obscene, you guys. That's, yeah, wow. Anyway, so yeah, when you buy injectors and they are they're authentic and honestly, so like I said earlier, this is not a plug for VS Racing or anything like that, but they had these for sale. Their pricing was good. And their pricing was on the line of like, I'm not sure if this is too good or if this is just good enough. But I am, if nothing else, the weigh information that I have here now, seeing how absolutely incredibly finely manufactured these items are, I'm inclined to think that these weren't hand built in a factory in China. I am inclined to think, I know, I've got a box here. It says Germany. It says made in Germany. It's got a barcode on it. But knockoffs are knockoffs, and some people buy them knowing they are, and other people buy things not knowing that they are. Either way, I don't think these could be knocked off and maintain such fine quality control. I might do a little bit of a saga here. I might actually take these, and I've got a buddy who has an injector stand. I think I might get these flowed and see how they flow. I suspect they'll be certainly within Bosch specs. So yeah, most people don't have access to an amazing weight, class 1 accurate, plus or minus 2.5 milligrams. They don't have a scale accurate to 40 milligrams, and they're not. I don't know why I thought to do this, but that's how I work. It popped in my head, and I wanted to get this. It helps set my mind at ease that these injectors that are not supposed to be knockoffs are not. They don't appear to be so far. So these are things that most people are not doing with their injectors. I'm sure most guys, they get these, they order them, they get them, they put them in their car, and they start tuning. But I wanted to find out a theory. I wanted to find some information about this theory that I had. So I went ahead and did this. If you guys have any feedback, the internet at large, I'm sure you'll have no problem throwing questions at me. But yeah, these are, I'm impressed. honestly. I think that I was expecting there to be a much larger variation in weights, and I'm surprised, very surprised. So, anyway, have a good one. See ya.